Germany has devised an ingenious new way to protect its democracy by banning political parties that the establishment doesn't like. Save democracy by abolishing democracy. Clever. Germany is debating whether to ban AfD as the party surges to 21% in the polls amid warnings from intelligence officials that its members are becoming increasingly extreme. Extremely popular, more like. Frank-Walter Steinmeier, the German president, warned in a speech to the country's domestic intelligence agency that we have it in our hands to put those who despise our democracy in their place. Quick! Too many members of the electorate are expressing their democratic support for a political party. Ban it! To rescue democracy, of course. Democracy is when you ban parties from taking part in democracy. Steinmeier cares so much about democracy that in order to preserve it, he's taken inspiration from Emperor Palpatine.
I love democracy. I love the Republic. The power you give me, I will lay down when this crisis has abated.
The Spiegel magazine joined the chorus with a leader titled "Ban the Enemies of the Constitution." It warned that the AfD has become more and more radicalized. It's time to defend democracy with better weapons. Weapons like giant metaphorical sledgehammers used to bludgeon democracy into a bloody pulp. To defend democracy, naturally.
I love democracy.
Declaring your political opposition enemies, then outlawing their existence. I seem to recall this happening sometime before in Germany. Can't quite put my finger on when that was.
I love democracy.
The co-leader of Olaf Scholz' ruling Social Democrats also said a ban should be considered if the AfD is categorised as a group of proven right-wing extremists by the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution. Right, so the same branch of the federal government, which has already branded the youth wing of the AfD extremists, thinks that the AfD as a whole is extremist, which it basically already does, then it should be banned. To defend democracy. Think we know where this is going?
I love democracy.
Otto von Bismarck once banned the Social Democrats for showing disloyalty to the Kaiser. The East German Stasi government once banned all other political parties for not showing allegiance to the Socialist Unity Party. The Nazis banned all other political parties under the law against the formation of new parties for not showing complete fealty to Adolf Hitler. In hindsight, everyone accepts why they did this: to crush democracy, silence dissidents, and establish a one-party state. This time it's totally different though. This time it's to defend democracy. Source, just trust me, bro.
I love democracy.
Of course, the Nazis and the Stasi didn't just ban their political opposition, they imprisoned them. Our progressive overlords would never go to such lengths. Right? Pro-refugee NGO founder calls for AfD to be banned and its leaders jailed. Oh. But prison is kind of messy and expensive. Maybe there's a better, more organised way to deal with these threats to Germany's freedom. For democracy, of course.
I love democracy.
Speaking of learning from history, it feels like it's never been more apt to remember what went before. Remember the days before mountains of meaningless email. Remember the thrill of receiving a real letter in the real mail. Rediscover that nostalgic excitement with historic mail. A thoughtful gift for anyone who appreciates history and the lost art of letter writing. Well, what do we have here? It's nothing less than a letter from Franklin D. Roosevelt to good old Winston Churchill. Fascinating stuff if you're a World War II buff. The letter demonstrates the special relationship between these two iconic leaders. Check out this letter from Walt Disney to Richard Nixon. Historic mail is the perfect gift for history lovers. Learn about the fascinating inner lives of the world's greatest historical figures from the primary source itself.
It's Walt Disney to President Nixon when he was vice president, and that's what the letter actually looked like. It was his signature and everything.
That is so cool.
Yeah, he was inviting him onto a TV show. He couldn't make it, but that's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, that's really,
I
really
love
cool.
these.
I love that.
Yeah, he left a little stamp of Mickey Mouse.
That's cute.
It's just interesting to see this history.
Yeah, and how authentic it is. That's really cool.
Every week a stamped envelope is delivered to your doorstep containing a reproduction of a letter penned by a famous historical figure, supported by a document providing historical context and a typed version of the letter. Get 10 weekly letters for only $59.99, or get a whole 52 weeks worth of letters for an in-depth, personalised exploration through a specific period of history. Get letters from historical titans including George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. almost as if they came straight from their desk to yours. Personalize your gift with this special certificate featuring your name and the receiver's name on it. Just use the code PJW to get your 10% discount. Go to historicmail.com/PJW to get your gifts now and help support this channel. Now back to the video. It seems like the AfD's cardinal sin has been to become too popular amongst the German electorate, because we can't allow that in a representative liberal democracy. Almost a quarter of Germans across the country now support this party, which can't be allowed to exist. A recent survey found that 23% plan to vote for the AfD in next year's European parliamentary elections, with that level of support having doubled in the last 4 years alone, propelling the AfD to become the second most popular party in Germany behind the opposition CDU-CSU. Quick, ban it! Germans are evenly split on whether the party should be banned, with 47% of the country in favour of a ban and 47% against. A ban is more popular in the West and among liberal Greens. Oh, you mean the same liberal Greens that are so ashamed of Germany they can't even bear the name of their own country to appear in their manifesto. The same Greens who want to ban a third of native Germans from applying for jobs to promote diversity. The same Greens whose vision for the future of Germany doesn't appear to include white people. Yeah, shocking that they'd want to ban AfD, isn't it? Domestic spy chief Thomas Haldenwang says the AfD should be banned because it spreads hate against all types of minorities here in Germany. Spreading hate, like accurately quoting crime statistics and actually listening to the genuine concerns of the German people about the consequences of mass migration. Can't have that, ban it! Interesting how a political party's members can be routinely threatened with violence and intimidation, have their private home addresses doxed and published, be savagely attacked in the streets, and yet somehow they're the extremists. Illuminating, isn't it, how at the exact same time 78% of Germans say they're unhappy with the direction the country is heading under the current coalition government of the Socialists, Liberals and Greens, say they're angered that the interests of ordinary people are being ignored by the political establishment in favour of refugees and the rich. The one political party that is willing to listen to and represent those grievances against the political establishment is being monstered, demonised and crosshaired for total annihilation by the political establishment. A stunning coincidence, I'm sure you'll agree. It's for democracy though, so it's alright.
I love democracy.
Fascinating, isn't it, how political parties that oppose COVID-19 lockdowns, oppose prolonging the war in Ukraine, oppose the elimination of national borders and relentless mass migration, oppose rapidly accelerating demographic changes that will permanently deform the very nature of Germany, oppose institutionalised climate change hysteria and the alarmist destructive drive for net zero, oppose the centralisation of power into one globalist superstate, are suddenly out of nowhere being labelled extremist by the political establishment and targeted for elimination. A stunning coincidence, I'm sure you'll agree. Almost like the extremist slur is just a weaponised pejorative to hide the fact that the AfD is proving too successful at opposing the agenda of the predator class, and that maybe that's the real reason why it must be banned. But yeah, I'm sure we can believe them when they say it's really about just defending democracy.
I love democracy.
Want to support your boy here while getting your hands on some high quality vitamins and supplements? Well, you've come to the right place. Summit Whole Food Multivitamin is sourced from 100% high quality natural food sources and loaded with natural immune support boosters. Boom! Then there's our vitamin C plus zinc with rose hips. Bosh! Reduce inflammation, supercharge your metabolism and support your body's tissue repair function. Then the rose hips protect you from the signs of aging and replenish your skin. Be in charge of your mind and help to support your brain operate at the highest potential by getting Summit Brain Support, which I take daily to increase my focus and concentration. And boom, it's absolutely stacked with cognitive enhancers such as Bacopa Herb Extract, L-theanine and Alpha-GPC. On all these products, we've taken time to ensure we've sourced the highest quality product at the best price. So reach new heights by elevating your health and wellness journey today. If you like my content and want to express your support while getting great supplements, go to summit.store where you'll find all the products plus worldwide shipping. That's summit.store or click the link in the description box down below.